the pen get on. If I live forever, you just wouldn't be so beautiful.
That damn toad.
Oh, I completely understand. Here, take a few bucks. Think nothing of it. I wouldn't be surprised if in this neighborhood you were pickpocketed. Anyhow, good evening, and do be careful.
How odd. I was just having naughty thoughts about you. You made quite an impression earlier. Did you come up just to cheer lonely little me? Really? Do I often pogo stick through your thoughts wearing nothing but a smile? Be honest. Or don't. What all suede kittens do. On hands and knees you lap up the milk of me, and we purr, kitten, like dragonflies buzzing around frog bellies. So, Therese told me you might be back with something for her. Do you have it with you? I'm not just some silly doll, you know. All my life, my sisters made me out to be a joke. She told you I was an embarrassment, didn't she? That I couldn't tie my shoes, let alone hold on to something for her. Is that it? She's always belittling me. She's the smart one. She's the favorite. She's the successful one. Well, it's not fair. I'm not a fool. This club's success is just as much my doing as it is hers. Do you understand what it's like to have your own flesh and blood ripping you apart on a daily basis for 2 lifetimes? Can you? Fine, you hold on to it. Since you're so willing to brave that big spooky place for my darling sister, how about doing a teensy tiny favor for little troubled me? Do you know Gallery Noir down the street? I happen to know there's a charity event being organized there. Lots of influential Santa Monicans slithering in for token appearances. But there's one thing they don't know. The whole event's been set up by a kindred trying to establish their own power clique in our city. And we can't let that happen, can we? So I need some brilliant young upstart to spoil the milk. I promise this won't take long. Take this knife. Give the paintings in the gallery a good slashing. Don't get caught, and don't turn it into a massacre. And steal the charity box, would you? Buy yourself something velvet. I'm sure Therese will be thrilled to honor your agreement when you get back. But in the meantime, get to the museum and ruin those paintings. Then pay me a visit. I want to hear all about it. Hurry up. I can only amuse myself for so long. Oh, and there was something about the paintings. What was it? I can't remember. Oh well, have fun, Duckling. Should I draw a map for you? The gallery's right down the street.
I missed you. Did you miss me?
Hey, hold on a minute there. I'm afraid you are committing a 351. That's trespassing on private property. I'm gonna have to ask that you vacate the premises immediately, or I'm afraid I'll be forced to radio this in. Huh? What call are you talking about there, Chief? And who might you be then, Chief? Easy, Chief. I have a Class C weapon license that allows me to carry a blunt striking implement for defensive purposes. But when things get hairy out here, and believe me they do, I pull out the midnight special. Now, we don't want that, do we? You can't hide from me.
Stop right there!
Stop right there.
I'll scream.
Hey, you!
I love my dollies. Want to come play with them? I missed you. Did you miss me?
You. What were you thinking? The museum. That was my event. Did you think I wouldn't find out? Shut up. I thought I could control my sister as long as Tongue was out of the picture, but nothing's changed. I should have expected that you'd succumb to Jeanette's influence like all the others, but how dare you! Jeanette claimed you did it for her, but let's say I believe you. After all, you've acted decently and rationally up to now. I imagine you'd still like me to call off the feud. Excellent! I'll take that. However, there's only one problem. If Tongue gets word that I threatened Jeanette, which he most certainly already has, it's not likely he'll believe me. So, in order to call off the feud, you're going to have to convince Jeanette to forgive me first. I made some threats against my sister. Idle threats, involving fire and her impious satin sheets. She took them quite seriously, and is avoiding me. I want to meet with her, and explain that they were said in the heat of the moment. I asked her to meet me at the Surfside Diner, to reconcile, but I'm busy with the club and my other endeavors. I'd like you to go to the diner and promise her that I don't plan to take any action against her. Wait for her in the back booth, near the phones. For all her unwholesome diversions and irritating disruptions, I should be less tolerant of her. She is my sister, however, and I suppose I'm obligated to forgive her her trespasses. I did sire her, after all. Please, be quick about it.
Hey, you better get out of here.
Freeze, motherfucker! Hey, stop, man! Freeze, motherfucker!
I'm terribly sorry about that. My sister was just furious about your refusal to take part in her designs, so she sent those men to kill you. But I'm going to make sure it never happens again. Drop by. We'll take care of this tongue business. She's crazy! Help!
Need some company?
You. I'm really sorry it had to end this way. I truly am. You seemed promising, but you've been tainted by the stink of my sister's schemes. And now I'm going to make sure she never double-crosses me again.
Don't listen to her. She'll kill us both. Save me and I'll help you find Bertram, I swear. Shut up, Jeanette! I warned you to stay away from Tongue. He's turned you against me. I always looked out for you, but you couldn't stand my success. You had to meddle, didn't you? I didn't want it to end like this, but you forced me. You never gave me any credit for anything, Therese. I was the one calling the shots. Bertram was dancing on my leash. How does it feel to know that I beat you? Isn't it obvious? I'm about to rid the night of this deviant, backstabbing whore. Do you realize that despite her condition, she still fornicates with Kine, no less? So despicable. So unclean. You're one to talk, dear sister. Or should I say daddy's little girl? Do you want to know just how depraved the Baron of Santa Monica can be? Shut up, Jeanette. You'd love the world to think you're a saint. When you thought I was asleep, I used to hear Father come in at night. I heard him whisper how much he loved you in your ear before he... Don't finish that sentence, or you're dead. Don't you want to hear what happened? How she became the pillar of the community she is today? Shut up. Just shut up! Don't try and stop me. I've had to overlook her treachery, her seduction, relations with my enemies, and the consequences of it. But I won't endure her any longer. Endure me? Dear sister, you've done everything you could to smother me. You love to bury me in your closet, along with all your other skeletons. I'm the good girl. You're the wicked one. You've done nothing but plot against me, when I had our best interests at heart. And despite that, I've always covered up your mistakes. I've taken care of you. And this is how you repay me? Taken care of me? You've done nothing but keep me down, blame me for every mistake. Did you expect me to let you rule my life until the end of time? No, sister. You've had it coming since our last sunrise. Is that right, dear? If it wasn't for me, you would have never survived this long. Remember? They tried to separate us, but I refused. I chose this life and brought you into it so that we could stay together. Obviously, you've forgotten. She's a control freak. People, things, emotions. If she can't control something, she gets rid of it. And you're a wild animal. You'll rub up against anything that'll take you in for the night. Then when you're stuffed and bored, you bite the hand that fed you. I don't think that's possible. How could I ever think to trust her again? Trust me? Who could trust you after what happened with Father Dearest? Father loved me. I was a good girl. I always did what I was told. You always hated that he loved me. You disobeyed him. You brought men home when he wasn't there. You were an awful daughter to him. Father came home drunk one day and mistook me for Therese. Because I'd fallen asleep in her bed. Don't listen to her. She's lying. Therese walked in while he was there, and she saw me lying with him, and so she went to the closet and pulled out his hunting shotgun, loaded it with deer shot, and blew his mind out all over the silly clown wallpaper. That's a lie. Father killed himself because of Jeanette. She made him miserable. As I recall, he died with a smile on his face. Why? How will this time be any different? Therese doesn't like to share. Jeanette's irresponsible. She's undependable. A venture like mine requires class and distinction, which is something a pigtailed, face-painting harlot does not lend very well. You do have a way with words, sister. You're right. I'm not in the same class, am I? I mean, murderers are so respectful these days. More responsibility. So that she can ruin every opportunity I give her? Of course. You're the only one who can secure zoning permits and shake hands. I'd never be able to keep up. But I only do it for attention and out of love. You do it because you're vindictive and jealous, and you deserve it. If she would stop treating me like a child, if she would start behaving like a rational adult. Yes, there was a time. When I was a child, I didn't have many friends. I suppose Jeanette was the only one. We never did get to go out of the house much. Father wouldn't allow us. He said we'd get hurt, so we stayed inside and we imagined our own worlds. And we spent so much time there together, ruling over those places. Those were happier times, before we grew apart. I never did. No, I guess I don't. Jeanette, if I were to offer you equal control in Santa Monica, would you quit consorting with Tongue? I'll stop working against you with him. But since I've got him in my pocket already, there's no reason for me not to pay him a little visit once in a while, when he can be of use. That's not a bad plan. There's just one more thing. I want to be in charge of Santa Monica, but only publicly. I want you to continue to convince others that our relations are strained. That way, we know who our enemies are. I agree. Take it. I'd hate to look at it again and think of what almost transpired. I suppose now that Jeanette and I have settled our differences, I'll call off the feud with Tongue. Bertram's hiding in an empty oil tank at the old gas station. I'll tell him to expect a visitor, and I'll ask him to be extra nice. Please give Santa Monica's regards to the prince, and keep your tongue tied about what happened tonight, or we'll have to kill you.
Look who finally made it. Thought you'd never find me, huh? I've gotten good at knowing when I'm wanted. The one and only. Don't bother with the introductions, fledgling. I know who you are. News travels down the kindred grapevine like wildfire. And that courtroom spat between LaCroix and Nines Rodriguez is a juicy little morsel. And you in the middle. How interesting. Oh, you did you? Well, I wasn't worried. So why did you need to find me? What did you need? Oh, never mind. The warehouse, though. I've been watching the place. The Sabbat has a bunch of low-life humans working day and night to move stuff through there. There's some major staging going on. The Sabbat. Jeez, you are green. It's like this. We're all monsters, like it or not. I'm not gonna say the Sabbat are the evil vampires, because none of us are the good guys here. But the Sabbat, they glorify their monstrous nature. They refuse to hide it and go out of their way to show it. They're also brainless and reckless. They have a life expectancy of a vampire fruit fly. As far as I can tell, the humans seem to know the score from the way they've been talking. I think most of them have aspirations of joining the next graduating class of shovelheads. Ugh, losers. Yeah, this is about like everyone to know just who they're dealing with. So if you get in there and have to bust a few heads, don't feel bad. Think of it as upholding the masquerade. Yes, I can. Just tell me when you're ready, and we'll leave. Once you're there, however, you're on your own. You'll have to get into the place and plant the explosives in the middle office to take the whole structure down. Alright, I guess. Come back.
Look at the ocean. I used to love swimming out into her at the crack of dawn. Be my guest. You got me. I reckon it happened a bit before we got here. A lot of viciousness the whole world over. Bound to creep into your backyard sooner or later. Be my guest. Seems no one will talk about it. This all started that night in the diner.
I don't know what I'm saying. Murder. Yes, the killer is dead. He moves soon and travels to the heart of the Angeles, to the home of the stars, and then returns fulfilled and empty once again. I don't know what I'm... Fortune is not your destiny. All of us are unfortunate. Every time I sleep, the future plays out before me. I know the ending. It will end over and over until I cease to dream. I know your questions. For $100, I'll tell you what you don't want to hear. I need money to leave this place.
Murder. Hope they don't find me here.
What's the hops, bro?
You ready to go? You ready to go?
Yo, what the fuck is going on here tonight? Marcus is all in everyone's face and shit.
Didn't you hear? A new shipment came in, some pretty serious hardware.
Yeah, I heard. But what the fuck? We get that kind of shit in here all the time. What's so different about tonight?
I don't know. Marcus is tense as a motherfucker. Maybe you heard something.
Like what?
Like, I don't know, but keep your fucking eyes open. Someone better tell those clowns in the freight house to quit playing cards before Marcus comes out and starts peeling fucking caps. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you.
there!
Hey, where'd they go? They're gone.
Huh? Hey, where you going, man?
You gonna bet or what? Shit, relax, Holmes. I'm in.
Yo, Mark.
Freeze, motherfucker! Hey, stop, man! motherfucker! Who's there?
Once they come pick up the stash, they promise they make us just like them. You know what that means? That means we never die, we get super strong, we can even fly and shit.
We can even fly?
Why not? Don't they fly in the movies?
Yeah, I guess so.
And like, that punk who drubbed your brother? You get his whole crew. The bullets wouldn't do jack shit. I'd tear their asses up if I was a vampire.
Yeah, it's not so bad.
You'd be stupid not to run with this crew. They said they run whole cities. You understand that? Working with the crew that runs a whole city? You could do anything you want, kill anyone who gets in your way, fly all over the place.
But what about blood? Do we really gotta drink blood?
That's how they do it up in the movies.
That's kinda nasty. What if I want a sandwich or something?
How should I know? Probably tastes good to vampires.
It's still nasty. What about sex? Don't tell me I gotta give up hitting it, because my cousin's got her friend staying at my house and she...
Man, how do you expect me to know? Not like it falls off, right?
What?
You never use it anymore.
That's messed up.
Just keep your eyes open, man. We screw this shit up, kids flying, sex, and your ass goodbye. These Sabat guys, they said they'd kill us and our families if we blow it.
I never agreed to.
Look, just shut up and shoot anybody who ain't supposed to be here.
What was that?
I lost it.
What was that? What was that? Hey, stop, man! Freeze, motherfucker! What was that? Freeze, motherfucker! face, motherfucker! What was that? Huh? What was, huh? What was that? What? Who's there? Huh? What was that? What? Who's there? Hey, where you going, man?
Your handiwork, I presume? Not experienced much in the creatures of the night, are you? For future reference, you might keep in mind that werewolves aren't in the habit of introducing themselves. I see my reputation, for once, does not precede me. My name is Beckett. I haven't been following you, per se. We've just coincidentally been at the same places at the same time, for different reasons. So sorry if I unnerved you. Tell me, have you by chance seen or felt anything strange since your embrace? A ghost? Quite ordinary. I generally pay wraiths no mind. All but a few are willing to give up their secrets. Thin bloods. They're a fascination of mine. They are considered a weaker, more human-like kindred, hence the name, Thin Blood. But they are sired same as any of us. I've heard a large concentration of them live in this city. They're one of the reasons I'm in Los Angeles. Most of my contacts here report sensing something unusual in the night air, like a sense of dread or pressure. But I'm not a native to these parts, so I can't tell if it's irregular. And since you're still fresh, perhaps you're not attuned to it. Pleasure meeting your acquaintance, but there are rumblings for me to discredit. We shall, I'm certain, meet again. Or never again. Good night, young one, and be careful. You're very likely being hunted by the Sabbat.
Nice work, fledgling. I felt that explosion a mile away. It's all over the news, too. Man, there's gonna be some pissed-off Sabbat just howling for blood tonight. Beckett? Well, I know of him. Why? No kidding. Huh. Must be something major happening if he's in town. Beckett is a historian of sorts. He's unearthed more vampire lore than anyone. Well, that's all Beckett does. Seek the truth behind our condition. What do you need? I know you did. Sharp kid. Can track like a bloodhound. I watched him work for a while before I approached him. I had no idea how eager he would be to help. I knew you would. I had him watching you-know-who for me. It was inevitable you'd pass through her joint. I told him to keep an eye out for you, gave him lines to feed you, the whole bit. Come on, fledgling, don't ever think you're ahead of the ball in this game. No matter what action you take, some kindred you never even met already foresaw it and found a way to profit from it. Like what? Clans are just bloodlines, you know, a common root shared and passed on from sire to child. They're a bunch of malcontents. They get pumped up by rousing the rabble they keep around them. Like that's hard. Nothing breeds faster than contempt. And that's what the Bruja are all about. Jealousy and contempt. Sure. Well, they fancy themselves loners and drifters running around the countryside and barking at the moon. It's all just an act. Gangrel can walk upright. They just choose not to. Sure. Malkavians are, interesting. There's something to them. Learning to sort the wisdom from the bullshit can be some work, and, not all of them are worth listening to, but, they're all good fun, if you ask me. That was just silly vampire politicking, fledgling. No more. You get used to that kind of thing. Of course it did. As if vampires and women both weren't insecure enough. Get them together in one Malkavian body, and look what happens. I had my suspicions. What an interesting specimen. But a pain in my dead ass for sure. Like what? Sure. Milk. Yeah. The Anarchs. Yeah, I respect what they do, strenuous liberty and all that jazz, but they're kidding themselves. Wherever there's an ounce of power to be had, there'll be people dicking each other over. You think the Camarilla invented that? From what I hear, he's a likable sort, and that's a problem. Nines Rodriguez is the kind of guy you want on your side, and more kindred go anarch every day 'cause of him. Sure. What am I gonna say? He's the boss now. He's LaCroix's iron fist. No one knows the sheriff, really, except LaCroix. No one even knows the guy's name. There's lots of rumors about him, though. I heard LaCroix picked him up in Africa over 100 years ago. Obviously, they work well together. Sure. From what I hear, he's a Sure. From what I hear, he... Yeah. The Camarilla works. When you let vampires run wild, you wind up with caitiff frenzying in the streets, thin bloods blowing the Masquerade, and hunters sniffing around. Law and order is the kindred's friend. Caitiff are just riffraff vampires who don't know anything about vampire society. Don't know their clan. Mutt vampires. What I suspect you were perilously close to becoming if LaCroix hadn't intervened. Yeah. You ask me, the Sabbat makes no sense. They couldn't care less about the Masquerade, and they seem to care even less about themselves. It's like, hey, let's all spread hell on Earth so we can feel big and bad. Oops, I'm dead. Now how did that happen?
Not today.
I missed you. Did you miss me?
Where to?
up there!
Need a fix? Employees only. Them's the rules of the queen bitch herself. She did, huh? Queen bitch told me never to let anyone back there. I remember her repeating it over and over in that cold, pretentious voice of hers. Now serving number 75? Number 75. Need a fix? Employees. Now serving number 75.
Who are you? What are you doing back here? Oh, you here for the special sauce? I think you want the clinic upstairs. Are you sure you're supposed to be here? I think you want the
Dr. Business, tell the operator. Dr. Business, tell the operator. Dr. Todd, tell the operator, please. Dr. Todd, tell the operator. Dr. Business, tell the operator. Dr. Business, tell the operator.
Hold it, please! Hold it, stop right there!
Need a fix? Employees only. Now serving number 7. 5? Need a fix? Oh no, wouldn't like that, Queen bitch. Queen bitch would say. Now serving number 26? Number 26. 26.
Dr. Business, tell the operator. 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 Dr. Sod, tell the operator, please. Dr. Sod, tell the operator. Dr. Business, tell the operator. Dr. Business, tell the operator.
Thanks for coming back. What you need? Yeah, it's freaking me out, to be honest. I'm open all night and Santa Monica police don't rank amongst the nation's most worthy. The other night down at the pier, bro, this dude got ripped apart. Same as the dude in Long Beach. Just ripped apart. They don't know how the killer's doing that either. I'll tell you, crazy stuff happens all the time, and it's like we just get used to it, you know, just going our way, do-do-do. But this, I don't know, these killings are chilling. So, did you need anything in particular, or... All right, come and take a look then. Thanks for coming.
Not today.
Hey!
It's a nice night out, huh?
Hey! So, like, how you doing on that thing we talked about? Oh, thank God! Oh, man! Yes! That thing was hounding me like every night. Look. Bertram said it's like a vampire, but different, you know? It's like what they have in China instead of vampires. He said lots of them have been coming to California for some reason. Hey, what's up? Oh man, thanks again for your help.
It's a mesmerizing liquid, isn't it? The color, the bouquet, the form. When I was a kid, I used to wait for the snap of the rat trap. It would trickle out of the animal's face and ooze just far enough to coagulate around the cheese. A poetic death. Employees only. Them. It's a mesmerizing. Need a fix? Employees only. Now serving.
Dr. Buzzmoose, the operator. Dr. Buzzmoose, the operator.
Drop of it on my tongue, sliding down my throat. The hot flash in my brain lighting up my body. I can smell it everywhere. Blood. Let me go. It's painful, like I'm going to die. It's calling. Never felt like this before. Let me go. I can smell it. I have to have it. Let me go!
Huh? Oh. Huh?
You don't look well at all.
Oh, sweet mother of God!
The heat. It's never been so satisfying. All of it. I drank until I heard his heart stop, and I was sucking on a dry, dead artery. It was euphoric. But I've killed him. I've never killed anyone before. What happened? What came over me? What just happened? It's not who I am. I've never done anything like that before. I'm not a monster. I tried to steal some blood. I heard they sold it. I was hungry, and I can't hunt in town. They caught me, and I was trapped. Thought I'd never escape, but I killed a man. I have to get out of here. My name is Lily. E? You know E? How do you know E? I tried to tell E about his condition, but he was so furious at me for what I'd made him into, he wouldn't listen. A thin blood, from what I've been told, is a vampire whose blood is weaker than most. Rolf, my sire, told me some vampires consider thin bloods a bad omen and want them destroyed. Rolf wasn't a thin blood, and apparently I am. I don't know why. Rolf abandoned me. His group wouldn't take me in. They said I was a liability. He left me with so many questions, and I did the same thing to E, but I didn't want to leave E. He forced me out of his life. I should go. I have to get out of here. Maybe out of the city. Soon. E doesn't hate me anymore? I'll go see him. Thank you. Oh, about tonight, what I did? Please, don't tell E. It's not my fault. I couldn't control it. I've never done anything like this before. I'm no killer.
Why'd you have to go and let that bitch out? There's one less Phil in the world now. Why'd you have to let her go and eat him, huh? Now I'll never get to do in that bastard myself. Well, you know what? No blood for you. No more! That's interesting. A missed opportunity. Guns make people cocky. They never appreciate what a skilled hand married to a knife can do. All you have to do is get close enough to cut off the trigger finger. Or their face. You like to talk, don't you? I want to hear a story. Tell me, what's the best way you violenced up someone? I want to hear every grisly detail. If I like your story, I'll sell you some blood. Blood comes from out of the living, from all kinds in a red torrent. The crimson seep at the speed of a heartbeat. For each drop, a teeny bit of life shed. You don't care how it's got, as long as it is. You'll be begging for it, and not getting any. Blood don't grow on... Now that you let that one go, I have to go out and find someone else to fill the chair. But it's kind of chilly out, and... That's interesting. You like... Blood comes from... Blood don't... Now that you... Blood comes from...
Mr. Business, Dolly operator. Dr. Business, Dolly operator. Mr. Business, Dolly operator. Dr. Business, Dolly operator. Mr. Business, Dolly operator. Dr. Business, Dolly operator.
Out of my way.
I missed you. Long time until sunrise.
Not interested.
Get something for you, Chief. There's a juice bar down the street. They serve the fruits of... Calm down, Ace.
brought my Lily back. She told me all about what happened. I don't know why you helped us, but your blood's worth bottling. I'll never let her go again. Thank you. We're going to be getting out of LA soon. Too dangerous here. Rosa told us something big's about to happen, and I don't want to be here when the jack comes out of the box. Take that for what you will.
Hi. This life's been hard on him, both of us, but he forgives me. We're leaving soon. I have some family with a place out in the middle of nowhere in Oregon. It should be okay for us to stay out there, as long as we're together.
This sucks, bro.
Need a ride?
Let's drain it. Let's take it and leave it out for the sunrise.
We're going to have a lot of fun with this one. Think you could blow up our warehouse and get away with it? Ah, lick.
Let's pull out its eyes and its tongue and its teeth. I want its teeth.
Camarilla, fuck. Boys, I think we could all use a little entertainment. Those of you sitting in the first few rows will get wet. Son of a bitch!
Leave.
There's 3 of us, Rodriguez.
Yeah. 3 of us. What are you gonna do? Shoot us?
This ain't over. We'll find you. You too, Rodriguez. You're both dead. Nobody messes with a Sabbat and lives.
Keep moving. Trouble sure seems to like you. Good effort. Execution needs a little work. You look like shit. Name's Nines. Should have been more careful, newbie. This ain't the burbs. Kid, I got things to deal with. Why don't you pay me a visit at the last round tonight? I don't know what you've heard so far, but it's time you heard the real story.
This is a mean existence. Stay out of trouble, kid.
You look familiar, Chief. We haven't met before, have we? Oh, yeah, back in Santa Monica, right? Whew, I don't know what came over me back there, but now I got this sweet night shift position, and I'm happier than the time I met Supowitz. Well, enough about my lucky break. You, here to see one of the bigwigs, Chief? I'd love to buzz you up, but according to Building Security Protocol 916, I'm gonna have to verify you're supposed to be here before I can open the elevator. I hate to be a Louis Law, but I'm new here, and you don't get a second chance like this every day. Would that be Sebastian LaCroix of the LaCroix Foundation, or Dwayne LaCroix of Insurrection Baby Formula Company? Okay then. Mr. LaCroix, he told me to expect someone fitting your description sometime tonight. You go right on up. Yeah, you have a good power meeting, or whatever it is you types do up there. You need any security? Well, you just ring the front desk and ask for Officer Chunk. That's me, in case you were wondering. Yeah, I get that all the time. The name goes back to my football days. Actually, my fantasy football days at the station. Stationarium. That was this office supply outlet mall I used to watch. Hey, you kids! No skating in the parking lot! That was me.
There you are. I was informed of your presence in the building. Since you're here, I'll take the liberty of assuming you've destroyed the warehouse. This is correct, yes? Most excellent. I had no doubt you'd prove my decision a prudent one. I trust you encountered no impediments to your progress on account of my personnel. A taste of what's to come. You have no idea. You've done well, circumstances being what they were. I will admit, not many in your position would have overcome such a trial. But don't misunderstand me. It was no fool's errand. You may yet prove to be a genuine asset. It's a bit disturbing, the lack of talent within this organization as of late. Tell me, what would you say to doing a bit of reconnaissance for me? There have been whispers, rumors spreading around the kindred community concerning the Elizabeth Dane, the cargo ship that was towed into port recently. Have you heard of it? The police are investigating the Dane as we speak. Even the Nosferatu have little information on what's been found. However, the reason the ship has caused such speculation is because it was transporting an object called the Ankaran sarcophagus. Now, I'm not one to predicate a decision based on conjecture, so what I need is fact. And more importantly, I need evidence that the occurrences on the Dane were not supernatural in nature, and in no way relate to this Ankaran sarcophagus. You have 3 objectives. 1. I want you to examine the sarcophagus for anything unusual. You may sense something peculiar about the sarcophagus. In fact, many kindred in the city have reported an uneasiness in the air since the Dane's arrival. Do not, under any circumstances, open the Ankaran sarcophagus. Secondly, the police have begun their investigation. Find out what they have concluded thus far. Thirdly, take the cargo manifest for the ship. I want to find out what else it was carrying. The last thing we want is police aware of our existence, so be careful what you do in front of them. And unlike the warehouse, you cannot wholesale slaughter a ship full of lawmen without consequences. Is this understood? Good. Oh, and it has come to my attention that you had an encounter with Nines Rodriguez earlier. The man so does love to throw that cretinous charm of his brashly about. What exactly did Mr. Rodriguez say? I see. Then, you should go humor the by-the-numbers rhetoric he's so desperately aching to spew. Oh, please, before the chance of fascist oppressor from that dive of theirs clog the air and choke the local kine. Give the Anarch community my regards.